Hey everybody. So I'm just going to do a quick overview of some of the things that you're going to encounter in this first chapter, which is titled Problem Solving and Critical Thinking. So some of the things that they're going to talk about are going to be different methods for solving problems. And when you are working on these particular problems, sometimes it's best to approach it and think of it as like a puzzle, because you are probably not going to get the correct answer on the very first try. So you might have to go back and retry a different strategy, a different method, and those types of things. And that sometimes makes students struggle because they think that if they don't get it right on the very first time that, they're just completely lost. And that is not the case in this particular chapter. Okay, so this chapter is designed to give you questions that you might not be able to get directly to the answer on the very first try. So just kind of keep that in mind as you're working through this. And then the other topic or topics, I guess, that tend to trip students up is developing mathematical models. And this is going to be sections 1.2 and then also section 7.6. Now, yes, I realize that 7.6 is not sequentially right after 1.2, but I do pair them together because both of those are asking you to develop mathematical models. Now, for these models, it is going to be a little bit more of the traditional algebra type of information that you've had in previous classes, where they are going to be asking you to work with equations, to maybe do some charts and graphs, and those types of things. They're going to be working in two different contexts. So section 1.2 is going to be linear models. Linear meaning we have straight lines. So you will be working a lot with y equals mx plus b. So hopefully that looks a little bit familiar from algebra. It's known as slope-intercept form. But that's going to be the format that you'll be working with in section 1.2. And then section 7.6, you're going to be working with exponential models. This one might not be as familiar to you depending on what math classes you have taken previously. But in this case, we are going to be looking at situations where the unknown, the x, is our exponent as opposed to being the base like we have in linear. Now, each of these sections will work you through the differences between these models and how to use them. But as you're working, these are the three things that I want you to think about. First of all, what type of relationship is it? So if the relationship has something that is changing by the same amount every single time, that's going to be a linear relationship. If the relationship is changing by an amount that is different each time, for what we do, that's going to be an exponential relationship. So start with asking yourself, what type of relationship is it? And then to try to figure out which values go, for M, for B, for A, and for B, ask yourself what topic is changing and what topic is constant. If you're able to identify those two components, that should help you to figure out which items go into which spots. And again, it will go through this in much more detail, but those were just some tidbits that I wanted to go over before you get into chapter 1. As always, make sure if you get stuck, let me know, send me an email. A lot of times I will do a short video when students send me a particular question, and then I'll email that back to them. So do not hesitate to reach out to me when you have questions. All right, thank you.